When the coalition commenced the talks, we knew that because we're dealing with an INEC that we cannot trust, and a ruling party that has methodically put INEC as if it's a department of its ruling class, we needed to have options. So committees were set up. Some committees were to look into the possibility of registering a new political party. Some committees we are negotiating with existing political parties to know whether we can run on the platform. So what you just saw with ADA
or ADA,
or
that would be.
However, what you saw with it, however, what you saw with it was the committee now writing a letter of intent to register the association as a political party. But here is the catch. By the provisions of the INEC regulations and guidelines for political parties 2022, when you make that application of intent, INEC has the luxury of 90 days to even reply to you, to tell you whether they would have accepted your name, your symbol, and your acronym. After the 90 days, then you have 30 days, assuming they say, we have accepted, and then you can go on. Then you go into their online registration platform, and you have 30 days to file in your constitution, your manifesto, your headquarters with the land documents to show you own it or you are a tenant. Then the list of your executives, the members of your association, the register, and affidavit. And then when you file that in what we call Form 15A1, INEC has another 60 days of luxury to vet all those things before coming back to you to say, okay, we don't accept, or we give you prima facie, you can tamper with this, and then have 90 days from the time of your application. So you're talking about 7 months to register a new political party. Now, a new political party, you will now start building the new political party from the polling unit. We are talking about 1 year, 6 months to the general election. That option may be tedious, it may be clumsy, but we still have it as an option because there is a committee that is working towards it. And what I just told you then was paragraph 2 VIII of the regulations and the guidelines. We have another committee that is talking about some already established political party. What people fail to understand was that APC did not go for a new political party. It was a merger. So they didn't have to start building. So that's the polling unit.
That is different arrangement. And under the law, different from
a new political party when you want to merge. So, and then when you want to merge, its parties already existing with structures. So when people are talking about a new political party, yes, it's an option we're considering. But because of the time constraint, that's not the only option. But I can guarantee you by the grace of God, in the next 2 weeks, it may be before then, a categorical statement will be issued and the world will know which one we have chosen, because time is not on our side.
So you are in one of the committees working on the ground.
Well, we want to operate in a manner that is not so we don't want to explain anything, but just know that I'm part of the coalition.
And Mr. Peter Obi is there too. Atiku Abubakar is there, El-Rufai is there,
now
Nasir El-Rufai, David Mark, all of you are in that group.
What is a coalition? An alliance for combined action. So it's open to everybody.
How come that's affair?
In Nigeria, a political party is constitutionally open to everybody. Now, if you want to be a part of a coalition, nobody's going to stop you. But at this stage of talking, you will know that there will always be different layers of talking, different committees set up. But I can tell you, the engine rooms of this coalition, a lot of them you don't even know. APC will not know what hits them coming 2027. When you are dealing with the ruling party and you're in your opposition party, you have to possess exceptional skills, exceptional attributes. You must have to be strong, but you should not be brutal. You should not be reckless, but you have to be courageous. You should not be priggish, but you have to be honest. You should not be proud, but you have to be confident. You should not be a braggart or self-conceited, but you have to be intelligent. You should not be sentimental, but you have to be very compassionate. And of course, you have to be charismatic. Now, all these attributes If you don't have it, remember, you cannot outdo the ruling party in terms of resources. You have to inspire the people by these attributes so that even when you don't give them money, they will be able to be convinced. But here is the problem why you should not have the other side of what I was saying. The ruling party, with all their braggadocio, they will use all those equipment they have, that whenever you show strength, they would want to tell the world you are brutal. Whenever you show courage, they want to tell the world you're reckless, so that they will put in you that fear that you should not exhibit those attributes. That's why I say in 2027, we are going to match them by showing strength and courage, and they would never intimidate us by trying to make the world to think that we are reckless and that we are brutal. Because when you are defending your own turf, as in when they want to rig election this time, we have to demonstrate strength and courage.
So you are going for the root.
We have to demonstrate strength and courage.
So you are going for the roots, for the muscle, and for the energy of the APC. You're not even waiting until after the 2027 election. You want to take them out, because a lot of people say,
yes,
whatever your coalition is doing is not going to bear any fruit in 2027. It's going to be after the election, because it's now too late for them to play any damage against the APC. Considering all of the defection, everybody seems to be going to the APC now.
Yes, that's why I told you we will not succumb to their braggadocio. All those things are. Okay, let's talk about the Northeast. When they were telling you endorsement, what happened? They went to Northeast and made a vote of no confidence on Shetima, and you saw the crisis that erupted. Forget whatever they are telling you. They went to Northwest, and people were pulling down the billboards of Tinubu. They went to Benue, the same thing. And a man was on a television station and he told you, any arrangement, I don't care what it is, any arrangement I'll take out Tinubu, I will be involved. That is the state that Nigerians have entered into. You're talking about suicide bombing, returning to Nigeria. 18 was just cleared up in Borno, in something that was anticipated because the governor kept shouting about it. You're talking about people now so jittery about their life that they can kill any foreigner around them. It happened in Plateau. It happened in Edo, just because communities are so tensed that any little thing makes them to start killing. If they do not defend themselves, they will be killed. When you allow them to defend themselves, they will go to the other extreme of killing innocent people.
But here's a question.
Yes.
So, and I see, I'll mention 5 personalities for you that gave some level of breath and energy to the APC's merger. Right. One of them is the president, Bola Tinubu, of the APC. It was a very strong pillar that came into the merger from the ACN. You talk about Atiku Abubakar, who was emerging from the PDP. You talk about Rotimi Amechi, who was also emerging from the PDP, an aggrieved man in the PDP as a governor of Rivers State at the time. You also would talk about someone like Bukola Saraki, who was also in the PDP, who came into the APC. And you talk all of these people. If you mention Saraki out of the APC, Rotimi Amechi looks like his heart is out of the party. Atiku Abubakar sings out of the APC. So the only people that you probably, and you have a Muhammadu Buhari of the CPC, then a Rocha Sokorocha of the APGA wing. Now, all of these people who understood how APC was formed are now part of the coalition. Would you say that knowledge, that understanding, especially of Bola Tinubu politics, is enough this time around?
Now, people were not in dire strait when you were talking about as they are in now. Things have gone so bad. Now what we have in Nigeria today is the people of Nigeria against APC, the ruling party. It was not that bad during Goodluck Jonathan's time. It was the sentiment of zoning. It was the sentiment that Yaradua died in office. It was the sentiment that we would not allow Yaradua's death to be used against us. So there was a kind of sentiment flowing then. The economy was good. The GDP then was $500 and something billion. Today the GDP is about $100 and something billion. Today, as at that time, Nigerians went to the streets for an increment of oil price by 25 naira, about 65 to 95. Today, under Bola Tinubu, we are paying 1,000 naira per liter, almost. And so, as at that time, it was the elites against the elites. But now, it's the people of Nigeria against Tinubu. And that is why a man is telling you any arrangement.
Who was that?
I'm talking about the former governor of Jigawa State, Lamido.
Sule Lamido.
Yes.
Well,
So
he
you
has
can
been corrected
imagine.
when he said that Tinubu
Yes.
is a later saint of the June 12 struggle, and that Tinubu supported
Yes.
the annulment, which the president.
I don't even know why I don't even know why people say that Tinubu fought for democracy. I don't understand.
He was a backer of the Madeco.
Excuse me? From London? 24 hours electricity?
Most of the
Pipe and water flowing freely for you? You're enjoying yourself?
Were in exile.
And those ones in exile, they are exiled politicians.
But he was also.
How can you say
he was also on the
fought for
street
democracy?
with those who on the inside in Madeco knows
Yes.
the role Bola Tinubu played. Because some of
What
us
is it?
are not
Businessman?
children then. So
the businessman
conversations
supplying
about-
money, but you will not allow any personal discomfort on yourself.
So you didn't think that
when things became
Tinubu's role was that significant?
when things became so tough in Nigeria, you ran away. He demonstrated how he ran away on television. There, he said he acted like an old man, and then crossed the border. And they're telling me he fought for democracy? How? People died here. Abraham Adesonya was put in jail. Bedbug everywhere in his body. He came out from the jail. He did not run away. And this is a politician that during the regime of Abacha, he ran away. And you're saying he fought for democracy? How? Because the people that were dying, what did they then fight for? Those people that were put in Gulag. A man is enjoying himself, like I always said, in an Owambe, moves in London. And he said he fought for who? I was in Nigeria. I was grown up. I knew the people that fought for me. I knew the people that died for democracy. Those ones I will respect. But they can't tell me that with your money as rich as you are, and that's what most of them will do if Nigeria collapses. That's why the people of Nigeria must hold up Nigeria, must not allow it to fall. Because once it falls, all these pretenders that they fight for democracy, they will not run away. And they will go abroad.
You were once a believer of Bola Tinubu. What changed?
I will not understand what you mean believer of Bola Tinubu. I was in the same party with him, APC, at a certain point.
But he was the leader of your party at the time.
He was.
If you didn't believe in the party.
Yes. I mean, when he became the presidential candidate and picked a fellow Muslim, I left. So if I was a believer of him, I would have followed.
But if not for that decision, you probably would have been in APC by now, still being in APC.
If they had done the right things, which they ought to do, I wouldn't have left APC.
But look at it now.
I have my principles.
Yeah, look at what is going on.
The security was degenerating. The economy was going down. And then they now added the fact of nepotism. And then our inclusivity was destroyed under Bola Tinubu. So he even gave me no option. For me, that believes in our diversity, that believes that the Christians should be allowed to purge, the Muslims should be allowed to purge, the North should be allowed to purge, the South should be allowed to purge. As an artist, when I go through, a bed of flowers and I see different flowers with different colors mixing up, it gives me that beautiful aesthetic feeling. I love diversity. Anybody that is cantankerous to our spirit of diversity, I will not support you.
But look at it.
Yes, in appointment.
So you look at what is going on in the APC, and I mentioned virtually everyone that you see in the video.
Yes.
In that coalition, they were formerly in the APC. What is the difference between this coalition and the present APC? They were more or less a few years ago, all of them singing from the same hymn book. So why should Nigerians see the coalition and the APC differently?
Now, everybody you see in APC, we are formerly in PDP, apart from probably Tinubu and Oshomole. Every other person came from PDP. So if I want to take your argument, that means we should go back that it is TPP.
No, some people were in CPC, some were in ANPP. Some people have never been in PDP before.
I agree.
In the present
We're talking
APC.
about in present
APC, in the present APC. I can mention list of people who have never been in PDP.
We're talking about the prominent
ANPP,
ones.
And
good. You just named the ones that were in APC. Most of them came from PDP. In those names that you named, and went to APC. So they were actually returning to their home.
The question here, Mr. Kunko, is the fact that why should Nigeria, because all of a sudden, your description of the APC is as such like a group of people who are impoverishing, a group of people who are causing Nigerian pains. But the fact remains that the ideologies of these people that you are describing and labeling in this manner, they were in the same, they were formed from the same fabric. So how do you then tell Nigerians that, oh, look, these same people are now born again and they are different from this other lot? What makes a difference?
I was with you on this show when we were campaigning for 2023. I told you I do no longer pay any respect to any so-called manifesto, if you recall. And that is because they were written by brilliant professors. That some of the candidates do not even know what is in those manifestos. Is it not happening now? the president, in that their manifesto, they promised 12% growth of GDP per year. What are we seeing? So he may not even know what was in the manifesto. Did he ever attend any debate? Did he ever attend any program to defend the manifesto? I said any candidate that cannot come and sit on the hot seat and share interviewing the person, Nigerians should not take the person seriously, and they should not think about what is in the manifesto, because the president or whoever must be the candidate might not even know what is in the manifesto. So we have come to that part where people now know that even parties that have beautiful ideologies, those ideologies, once you elect the candidate, if he is not intellectually savvy, those ideologies will be.
So because the reasoning of so many Nigerians is that all these politicians are the same, and difficult to believe them because they're more or less the same. What message? I'm saying, what are you telling yourselves in the coalition? What we're saying, there must be a message that will resonate. Absolutely, it's Nigerians against the APC. Yes. APC will say they are with the Nigerian people, they are for the Nigerian people. Yes. Who should we now believe as Nigerian people?
Now,
if you're running a marketing agency, chances are you're left confused and broke by all the courses and YouTube videos. And I'm here to
Nigerian people. Yes. Who should we now believe as Nigerian people?
Now, let me be very honest with you. In Nigeria, just like when we had military regime, any revolution by any officer of the middle or lower cadre never succeeded in Nigeria. Whether from Kaduna and Zogo, whether through Boka Soka Dinka, whether through Oka. And there is a reason for that. And that is why in Nigeria, we need a man of conscience who is experienced, who might even be from the old cadre, but has made up his mind that he wants a new Nigeria. If you're expecting a younger person to come in the midst of these sharks, they will swallow him up. And I'm telling you, an Obama can come to Nigeria and will not win election. Not because people will not vote for him, but they will steal it from him. So what we have now in Nigeria is that we have a system that needs to be fought, that needs to be taken out.
Can you trust the people we are seeing in that video? That the new wave of Nigerian politicians that are going to cause change? Because if some people are saying Nigerians rejected PDP,
yes,
you are saying Nigerians no longer like APC, but these are a combination of the two parties.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. Assuming an article comes into power, assuming, and takes us back to the Obasanjo years, he would have been a hero. He would have paid off all our debts. He would not acquire new debts. He would have made sure there's no security problem all around Nigeria. He was the vice president. I'm just using him as an example because he's the only person that has been in the presidency from 1999. Assuming he can even take us, because it is the terribleness of the successive government that keeps beatifying the predecessors. I never knew any government would be worse than Buhari's government. I must be very honest with you.
Are you saying that the Tinubu government is
the worst in the history of this country?
Is that fair to say?
How would
Based on the policy direction of this government?
How would I define a president that from the first day in office, when even there is a law that says fuel subsidy will go by June 30th, and the first thing you were able to say, fuel subsidy gone, and on top of it, you floated the naira. Who told you?
Is it a bad thing to do? Flotation of the naira?
Let me tell you.
Isn't that what a lot of the economists were?
It's a terrible thing to do. Let me tell you why. And I'm an economist. The only thing that will sustain your naira is a strong industrial base and a steady export market. What is sustaining your naira vis-a-vis foreign currency is not your ability to print more naira. Is your ability to export more products.
No, when your naira is totally dependent on foreign consumption.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you producing?
That's why you cannot float it. What you should do is to make policies and implement policies that will sustain naira. How do you do it? You must endeavor to put in policies that will stop and minimize your import, so that your export will be higher, so that the demand for naira will be higher than the demand.
So it was a bad decision as far as
very terrible.
But let me ask you quickly, sir.
And the policies they are implementing, they're increasing importation more.
Now
they just liberalize your importing rice again, importing this, and that is why the people that are producing locally are holding up.
Let's come to this and quickly. There are those who believe that Tinubu will have an easy work to victory in 2027. That in fact his 33% victory margin will be doubled in 2027.
Yes.
Are you worried about that?
That's why I told you that it's braggadocio. Me bragging. So where is the vote coming from?
You think it cannot happen?
Nigerians would rather not go and vote at all.
Their party controls more than half of the state of the federation.
More people endorsed Goodluck Jonathan
So that could be a
for
template.
2015 election.
Are you aware that there are those who are saying that the chairmanship, the pro tem chairman, is a southern man? It means that there's a likelihood that the new coalition candidate, presidential candidate, might come from the north.
I have said it clearly. Nobody is going to stop anybody from contesting for the presidential ticket in the coalition. Nobody.
So an Erufai can be a candidate.
If you want
to, can be a candidate.
Yes.
Even when there is a Buhari of 8 years, Bola Tinubu of 4 years,
And that is
we have a balance in the minds of Nigerians.
No, let's come. That is why I am going to support after this time around 1 term for any executive position, 1 term of 6 years, because these 2 terms bring us into confusion when somebody had taken 1 term. Why? Politicians have shown that it's very difficult to trust, even when the person promises 1 term. So if somebody had taken a term from the south and it is in middle of the game and the person is not performing like Tinubu, you're going to get into a problem. If you get another southerner, he's going to be there for 8 years. The north will say no, this is injustice. Nobody will allow Tinubu to continue.
Let's close quickly, and just in less than 60 seconds.
So the best is to throw it open. When the best comes in, every other person will support the best, and the person will promise to take
you
to do 4 years.
told me in an interview that Atiku and Peter Obi are none of your option.
And Tinubu. That was my
in the
opinion. That was my personal
coalition,
opinion.
in the coalition, it does look like you might be back to a man who believe that you betrayed him, that you are like a Judas.
Well, I will allow Obi to be entitled to his own opinion. In our religion, you don't fight for God. Since he made an insinuation that Jesus had 12 and 1 turned against him, that means he's even claiming that he's the Jesus in the analogy. So he made an insinuation of betrayal. No, how can you betray somebody you're not working for?
He didn't pay you money throughout all the time?
I didn't ask for
He
any.
didn't give you a house?
I did not ask for any.
Did you get a house?
I did not ask for any.
Did you get?
I couldn't have gotten.
Did you get money?
I did not ask for any.
So how did you betray him?
No, he should tell
Were
me.
you walking behind him, against him?
When I worked for him, I never consulted any politician, and I'm making a public statement. I never talked with any political
So you were
party.
100% loyal to him?
100%.
So why does he think that you had
When
disloyal?
I left, I told the whole world, and your program was even one of those prior programs that I used to tell the whole world. I said, from now onwards, I am not going to speak for this person again. They don't understand what betrayal means. But again, anybody who is writing or saying anything about me is a reflection of who that person is, not a reflection of who I am.
All right.
For I know who I am. I am Kenneth Okonkwo. My name responds only to the service to the Nigerian people and not to the slander of the Nigerian braggarts.
Now that finally the coalition party, the party is finally, the name of the party is finally out, and we're still waiting for INEC for the party to be registered, of which it has been submitted to INEC for registration. Now the next thing is we are looking at to see is who is representing this party. Could it be Erufai? Could it be Rotimi? Could it be Atiku, or who? That is the next stage, of which I know very soon they will announce to us. And again, Kenneth Okonkwo, I want to see, I hope you yourself, you are ready to fight in that 2027, because it's all about backboss. That I've said it before. Election in 2027, what we witness in 2023 is just like a child's play. It's like when somebody is doing IT, they've sent you to go and do an IT. Now you have, they sent an apprentice to go and learn work. That time you were just testing microphones. Now in 2027, the person has graduated. He's graduated, and it's time for him to exhibit his talent. Do you understand? So it's what you are going to see 2027. So it's backboss. Give me, I give you. So I hope you are ready to fight, you yourself, because you are looking for somebody who is very stubborn, who is very arrogant, who is very somebody that looks like Tinubu, that could able to incite violence. Or do you understand? Somebody that can be able to instigate action violence for people to go and fight. Now that's what you want, right? Good. I hope you yourself, you are ready, and the person you guys are bringing on board, I hope he himself is ready to fight, and I hope you, your children, and everybody now will bring them forward. Since that's the kind of person you want, now will bring our children forward, then we will march. Now we'll march, follow now, isn't it? Not just to come and do it. You go and buy K and Ekoboko, so that you used to flog these people. Do you understand? Since the competent you are looking for is somebody that can fight, not somebody who is competent in terms of a character, competent and otherwise everything he has. You look out for to move a company forward. You are not looking at that. You are looking for somebody who is able to catch thief when thief comes to the company to steal. Somebody who is going to catch the thief face to face and start beating the thief or not to steal. Not somebody who has the capacity, who will study, okay, thief comes into this office today. There's a reason he comes. He succeeded. Okay, where did he come from? How did he get access to this place? Let's do this. Let's block this loophole so that the thief will not come next time. Why we do that, then we cannot focus on. So you are not looking at that kind of person who can do that, but you're always somebody who can fight physically. So if that is the case, Peter Obi is not one of them. So I want to see the action. Anyways, we are waiting for them. Let's see. Please, what do you think? Share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel.